New drivers, new cars and a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that hosts the first round of a 21 race championship, taking us from here in Melbourne, Australia, across the globe before we eventually reach the season finale at Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. We have plenty of changes to the sport this year, with the addition of new safety features, the return of France and Germany in an expanded 21 race calendar, and more tyre compounds than ever before. And of course, we have some big car manufacturers back in the sport too, with Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin returning as title sponsors for Sauber and Red Bull respectively. Joining me to take you through all the action of the 2018 Formula One season is Anthony Davidson. Great to have you with us.
Thanks, Crofty. Always happy to be here. I'm looking forward to getting underway. Last year was Mercedes' 4th Constructors' title in a row, although for the first half of the season it was absolutely neck and neck with the Ferraris. Hopefully this year we can see the chasing pack take that final step, as I'd love to see a championship contest all the way up to the final race in Abu Dhabi. Another story to keep an eye on is the relative performance of McLaren and Toro Rosso, who have exchanged power unit suppliers this year, and given the additional restrictions on engine components, they need to be strong in terms of both performance and reliability.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and starting alongside him P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Max Verstappen, Iceman, Bottas, Hülkenberg, Magnussen and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Leclerc, Sergio Perez and Grosjean, Van Dorn, Gasly, Brendan Hartley and Marcus Ericsson. Sirotkin and Lance Stroll rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Lights out and away we go for the Australian Grand Prix. There's a bit of contact from myself onto Valtteri Bottas, and overtaken by Fernando Alonso. And sector 1, yellow flags, and there's contact between myself and Max Verstappen and Van Dorn, permanent damages.
Got damage! Oh! Yeah.
Some information on Verstappen. They are out of the race.
I'm looking like to have an overtake on Valtteri Bottas in the next couple of corners, and that's a bit more collision to Valtteri Bottas. And there's a clean overtake, but will I make it stick? No, I don't make it stick. I'll run wide there, and Valtteri Bottas will overtake. And do I stick it this time? There's more collision there. Yes, I get the no. Valtteri Bottas is contacting me. Yes, I now do get the position to stick. The position has stuck.
suit the softs. Out in front. Seconds. We're coming in this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed.
Pit window has opened for me. My pit window has opened. I am in the pits this lap. Go around into the pits. Let's see how the Renault Sport team get on with the pit this time. It will have to be a slow pit stop because they have to do a wing change from that first lap contact with Valtteri Bottas. And that was an second pit stop, which is a slow pit stop for this time of the year. Go back onto the track. We are rejoining the circuit in last position. So we have a lot of work to do before now and the end of the race. It is now Nico Hulkenberg's time to pit. Time for the team to pit. Now we are watching the McLaren team's pit stop for Fernando Alonso, which is a quick stop. This is the Grosjean's pit stop, which is also another quick one. Brendan Hartley's got another quick stop as well for us.
Car ahead is now running the Super Soft tyre. That's the Super Soft on the car ahead.
It's time for round 3 of the pit stops, and Sebastian Vettel is in the pits first. No, I'm sorry, that was Kimi Raikkonen in the pits first. Kimi Raikkonen pitted first. Bottas pitted. Kevin Magnussen, time for has to pit. Where will you put in the race? That's a quick stop from Haas. Pierre Gasly's had a quick stop. So there those pit stop winners take us out. So currently in P6. P6 is the highest reading.
That's P6.
Thank you for the engineer to say that.
P6.
So the engineer has now updated us and told us that we are currently racing this race in P6. P6 is the highest that we've raced in this race so far. So we could currently, technically, be in our finishing position for this race. And P6 would be a great finishing position for the first race of the championship. And then we'll be in 6th position in the championship. And then that will set us off nicely for the next 20 races in the championship. So the next race we have to go and see is the Bahrain Grand Prix, which is a night race, which I'm hopefully going to try and get a good position. I hopefully want the podium. So currently we are chasing down Valtteri Bottas, who is our next racer from the race, and he is currently 7.7 seconds. And technically, we could cut the 7.7 second gap down between us and Valtteri Bottas quite easily if he has some major failure which causes him to not race to his full potential speed. And we are currently gaining time on Fernando Alonso, and we have set the fastest lap of a 1:32.3. Going into the DRS zone, but we don't get DRS because we're not close enough to Valtteri Bottas. Take it easy around these corners so we don't have too much tyre degradation wear, since we did have our pit stop nearly 5 laps to go. Bit of a corner cut there. Let's see ready for that. That's a 7.1 seconds to Valtteri Bottas and 2.3 tenths to Fernando Alonso. So we are gaining time and cutting time down to the drivers that are in front and behind us. Coming around to the back part of the circuit, will we get a skid? No, we won't. There could still in this race be major upsets from other drivers, because there could still be a safety car and there could still be more drivers to DNF from this race.
Some information on Alonso.
And the engineer seems to think that Alonso has a problem, so they'll be slowing down potentially, so we'll be gaining more time on Fernando Alonso in this race. And let's see if we get the fastest lap of the race again.
Our gap to first place is 16.
And we have cut the gap down to Valtteri Bottas to 5 seconds. So potentially on the next few laps you could potentially overtake Valtteri Bottas for P5, which is 10 points in the championship, and that will help the Renault Sport F1 team out, because since Nico Hülkenberg will score points as well, which that will be amazing for the first race to try and get the Renault Sport team a good start in the F1 championship.
Okay, the gap behind is 6.
To potentially help them win our first World Championship on our rookie season of the F1 2018 career.
The gap to the car ahead is...
That is a skid from us. We have had a major skid, and we have saved the major skid. And we have cut the gap down to just over 5 seconds now to Valtteri Bottas. If we can try and get the overtake on Valtteri Bottas, that would be amazing. So we have cut the gap down to 5 seconds. 5 seconds, that is all we have to play for. 5 seconds the gap is.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
And we have increased the gap to Kevin Magnussen, which is 8.5 seconds currently. So we have a decent gap to Kevin Magnussen. So around the next corner.
5 seconds.
And that is an amazing aerial shot of the Renault Sport car, which we are racing for this season of the championship. And we currently race under the number 15. And we are cutting the corners seriously there. So my racing number in this championship is number 15. Coming around to the penultimate corner of the race lap, and we are going to get on to lap 12 of the race. We have cut the gap down to just over 4 seconds to Valtteri Bottas. So in the next couple of laps we could potentially create an overtake, and it is now 9 seconds to Kevin Magnussen, who is behind. 9 seconds to Kevin. This race could still be undecided. It could be anyone's race to win. Potentially it could be a cracker of a race to conclude. And as I always say, we could always still have the safety car. And now we're catching up with Valtteri Bottas. We can see him in the distance. It is 10 seconds to Kevin Magnussen. That is sensational driving from me. So we are catching up quite quickly to Valtteri Bottas. A bit more of a skid there, so potentially on this lap we could potentially overtake Valtteri Bottas, and that would be a great thing, overtaking Valtteri Bottas, because that will give us
Our gap to the
P5.
car in front is 3.3 seconds.
Nico Hülkenberg is currently racing in P7, no, P8. Coming on to lap number 13. We have cut the gap down to Valtteri Bottas to just over 2 seconds. And it's 11 seconds to Kevin Magnussen, and we are going to try and get a dive down. Valtteri Bottas is inside, potentially on this lap. So we have 3 laps of fuel left remaining in the car, and we're getting a bit closer to. We've got like 1 second.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Potentially around this next couple of corners we get an overtake on Valtteri Bottas. It's 12 seconds to Kevin Magnussen, to bear in mind. So he won't catch up any time in this race, unless we have a failure, which is not likely to have a failure in this part of the race. It is just over 8 tenths of a second to Valtteri Bottas. So we've got DRS on this DRS bit. So we could potentially get a lunge down the inside on the next few corners. If not, we'll get the DRS on the start finish straight. And then we'll do the overtake in corner 1. And that is the overtake on Valtteri Bottas. We have just overtaken Valtteri Bottas for P5. So we're going on to lap 14 of the race, and we only have 2 laps left, and we have a 5-second gap to Kimi Raikkonen, which is unlikely to be broken in this race. And as you just saw, we have got the fastest lap of a 1:30.3.
2 seconds. Target is +1. Faster engine modes are available.
So we're coming on to lap 15 of the race, and Sebastian Vettel is leading the race, and at the end of the race he will be leading the championship if the race stays the way as it is. So we currently have Valtteri Bottas behind us and Kimi Raikkonen in front of us. So this race looks like to stay the same because we have a 5-second gap to Kimi Raikkonen and a 1-second gap to Valtteri Bottas. and there's shots to Kerry Magnussen's car.
We have lost him. M2K, slow down.
Kerry Magnussen has an engine failure. His MG UK has failed. He is out of this race. He will not be picking up the Constructors and Championship points, so this does not look like to be one of Pasa's strongest weekends. They will not be picking up many points, if not any points, this weekend. So back on board with ourselves, we still have a distance to Kimi Raikkonen.
Okay, gap ahead is 3.6 seconds.
But we have dropped the gap to 3.6 seconds and the gap to Valtteri Bottas to 2.2 seconds. So around the last couple of corners on the end of lap 15. So we can see Kimi Raikkonen in the distance, but this race is not long enough to get into P4. We're going on to the last corner and we have got P5 in the race.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Great effort there from Ferrari to take the victory today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
So, here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari, on the top step once more. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Sebastian Vettel takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I'll probably go for Pierre Gasly. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in amongst the pack, but it's the driver's job to capitalise on those opportunities, and he did so with a lot of skill.
On to the constructors then. Ferrari moved to the top of the table. That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.